I never thought a single joke could shatter everything. It started on a Wednesday evening, right after work. I was scrolling through my phone, half expecting to see the usual text, her saying she loved me sending the same back. Instead, there it was, a message from one of her coworkers. It read, "You're lucky he doesn't know about last night, LOL." I blinked, reread it, and laughed nervously. Surely it was nothing. A joke. Something harmless. Right? I tucked my phone in my pocket, trying to shake off the uneasy twist in my stomach. But the feeling didn't leave. Over the next few days, little things started piling up. She'd canceled dinner plans with vague excuses. Work deadlines, headaches. Just needed some space. I shrugged it off at first, convincing myself I was overthinking. Then came the missed calls. One here, two there. Her phone would buzz with notifications she'd grab a little too quickly, a little too defensively. She started keeping her phone face down on the counter, always on silent. I began questioning myself first. Was I being paranoid? Was I overreacting to coincidence? But the pit in my chest told me otherwise. Something wasn't right. I remember the moment the pieces began to fall into place. I was folding laundry when her phone buzzed. A message preview flashed across the screen. "Can't wait to see you tonight, smirking face." My hands froze mid-fold. My heart slammed against my ribs. It couldn't be real. It had to be a misunderstanding. I tried to talk to her that night. Carefully, gently, hiding the panic behind a calm voice. "Hey, I noticed you've been distant. Is everything okay?" She looked up, smiled a little too brightly, and said, "Yeah, everything's fine. Work's just stressful." Her eyes didn't meet mine for long, and I felt the cold scrape of doubt settle into my chest. Days passed. I started noticing more. Tiny inconsistencies, lingering smells that didn't belong, subtle changes in the way she touched me, the way she laughed at my jokes. The laughter that used to warm me now cut like glass because I wondered if it was ever really meant for me. I found out the truth by accident. I had borrowed her laptop for a document and noticed it was still logged into her email. I shouldn't have looked, but curiosity, fear, something primal, took over, and there it was, the thread of messages, the proof of everything I'd been afraid to admit. Flirty texts, late-night meetups, whispered secrets that weren't mine to hear, but now crushed me anyway. The world tilted. I felt sick, betrayed, furious, devastated, all at once. I confronted her the same evening, hand shaking, voice barely more than a whisper. "Why?" I asked. "Why me?" She looked at me, eyes glossy with something between guilt and fear. It was, I don't know. It started as nothing. Just fun. A joke. But I didn't mean to hurt you. But the words felt empty. Every memory I had of her, the dinners we shared, the late-night talks, the promises, I now saw through a haze of lies. Even the small things that felt real now carried the sting of betrayal. I wanted to scream, to hit something, to let every ounce of anger out, but I couldn't. All I could do was stand there, feeling like the ground beneath me had been pulled away. I realized then that some things, once broken, can't be fixed by apologies or regrets. He walked out. That line I still hear in my head, even now. Not him, not anyone else. Me. I was the one who left the life I thought I knew, the one who chose self-respect over clinging to a betrayal that would eat me alive if I stayed. And when I closed the door behind me, I felt both the sharp sting of loss and the quiet relief of freedom. I didn't hate her, not entirely. I felt sorrow for the choices she made, for the trust she destroyed, for the love she couldn't honor. But I loved myself enough to walk away. And in that painful clarity, I realized something I hadn't known before. Betrayal doesn't just test love, it tests the soul. In the weeks after, memories would resurface, and each one carried the same ache. I remembered the way her hand had fit into mine, the warmth of her laugh, the small gestures that once felt so intimate. Each memory now whispered that intimacy had been a lie. But I held on to the lessons, the strength I didn't know I had until I lost what I thought was unbreakable. Life after betrayal is quiet in some ways, loud in others. The silence of an empty apartment, the absence of her voice, It echoes with pain, but also with potential for rebuilding. I learned to forgive myself for staying too long, to cherish honesty, and to recognize that trust, once broken, shapes the kind of love I can accept in the future. I didn't realize a joke could end everything until I walked out. And though the wound is still there, the scar is mine, a reminder that sometimes the hardest choices are the ones that save you.